Hi. So when you think about the SBI Balanced Advantage Fund, it is essentially a hybrid fund that has allocation across both equity and fixed income. In terms of how we manage this fund, right now the fund is essentially run on the basis of an in-house proprietary framework, which has three main pillars: valuations, sentiment, and earnings outlook. Within valuations, we essentially look at both equity and fixed income and try to sort of compare them against each other. The one key modification that we have made here is that we want to think about equities from a cyclically adjusted perspective, which means that we want to think about economic cycles when we talk about equity valuations. So we compare equity valuations with fixed income valuations, and that gives us a sense regarding which asset class looks more attractive at any given point in time. What we've seen for effective asset allocation is that valuations are important, but you need something on top of valuations to make the asset allocation more optimal. And this is where sentiments come into the picture. So we have an in-house sentiment index that measures various factors with regards to flows, with regards to macro variables, with regards to sort of internals of the equity market and so on. And in essence, it is essentially trying to tell us whether investors overall are very positive or negative with respect to the equity market. And for us, the sentiment acts as a mean reverting contrarian kind of indicator, where when investors are very optimistic, we want to err on the side of caution, and when investors are very pessimistic, we want to be a lot more aggressive with respect to our equity allocation. And then earnings outlook is a short-term overlay that we have to see whether the outlook is likely to surprise positively or negatively at the margin. So we combine valuations, sentiments, and the near-term earnings outlook to essentially arrive at a specific allocation with regards to equity and fixed income. So that is how we manage the SBI Balanced Advantage Fund. The fund as such has leeway to go all the way from 0 to 100% in equities, and it essentially can invest in either equity or fixed income. Right now, when we look at the equity versus fixed income allocation, right now the framework is asking us to be cautious with regards to equity markets because valuations are quite high, and hence the current allocation to equity is around 30%, with the remaining allocation to either fixed income or arbitrage, which one can think of as a cash proxy essentially. So clearly we are sort of quite conservative at this point with regards to our allocation towards equity markets, and this is primarily on account of the fact that valuations have become very elevated and sentiments are also quite high, and from that perspective we would want to be conservative at this point in time.
Mutual fund investments are subject to market risks. Read all scheme-related documents carefully.